Then she tells me that as I wait to get the epi, that I can use the oxygen. So me, the only time I've seen oxygen, that thing, it's just in movies. Man, I take that thing and put it over my nose and mouth, and fast I think I pass out. So when I come to, she's like, don't worry, that happens. In my head I'm like, wait a minute, am I supposed to die to give birth to this child? Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, for today's video, I would like to share with you guys my labor and delivery story that is like from 2020, but we are doing it. So, hey, 2020, man, 2020. So Yani, you know, I've just had a flashback of how energized I was in my last video before I went like on hiatus, which I think I'll post somewhere here, and like how things drastically changed after that. So I kept on seeing, so it was during COVID, yes. So here in Qatar, the healthcare system was overwhelmed as it was in every other place in the world. And so what they did was that they started having telephone consultations, and you would only need to come in maybe for a serious checkup, or if something was wrong, and if you felt anything, then you were to go to the emergency room. So what happened was I had an appointment on the 14th of October, yes. So I had an appointment, and on this day when I went, and it was just a regular check for me. It was, yes, I was like 2 weeks out before my estimated date of delivery, so I was okay. Like I was like, nothing is going to happen today, so this is just fine. So what happened was, when I went in for that checkup, the doctor was asking me questions, and then she asked me to lie back. And I think, and I might be wrong, but I feel as though she must have done like a vaginal sweep. They do something down there, because then it became so uncomfortable. So in a bid to just like stay motivated, because I was off duty, so in a bid to just get myself out of that place of the checkup, because it's really invasive, for lack of a better word, and you keep feeling like something is chilly like this. So I got so uncomfortable, so I told Quint, hey, you know what, just let's go to IKEA, let's go see whether there's anything that we need. And I also told him, at least I'll get a chance to walk, so let's just do that. So yeah, I went to IKEA. We got some stuff, like we just realized, it's like that day we realized that there were so many things that we needed to get. So we walked around, we had something to eat, got on the metro, and then came back home. When I came back home, I was feeling more tired than I usually would. So I took a hot shower, nothing. Tried sleeping, nothing. So I really just tossed and turned that evening. So when the next morning came, I was like, something does not feel right. But I'm like, no, I might be too early, like, to call it. So at around 10 in the morning, I started feeling like the urge to pee, but then I could not pee. So I called my friend, who is a nurse and a medical practitioner, and I asked her, hey, I'm feeling like this. What do you think? She's like, take warm water. It will ease and make it easier for you to pee. So that's what I did. I took warm water, and yes, I did pee. Because the feeling was like, I really need to go. And then when I go, nothing is happening. So this went on, and then I started getting contractions, or what seemed like contractions. So tried timing them on the Ovia app. Then they would show that like they were like 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes. So I knew, please, this one. When I used the what happened with Taraji, I was like, but hey, this one is not going to even be here today. Like, if this baby is supposed to come, we probably have 24 hours. So we're there. I tried eating, I couldn't eat. I tried sleeping, I couldn't. The only thing that would give me relief was if I was on my knees on top of the bed, like this, ni kama mtu anaswali. Like, that was the only way I was getting a relief. So when I called Kate, my friend is called Kate. So when I called Kate again, she's like, you lose nothing by going to the hospital. So you guys start going. And I think when she said hospital, I think my body just decided, today it's going down. So we called a cab, and then we went, and in the cab, the contraction would come and I would feel like I'm going to drive this car myself. Like, it got so bad. So anyway, we went, and then we got to the hospital. So I was at the Women Wellness and Recovery Center that's near the Hamad Medical Hospital. So that's where I was scheduled to go. So when you go in, you have to first go through the emergency. So when I was there, this lady's asking me for my marriage certificate, my what. I'm like, chick, I'm in so much pain. Can I send you a WhatsApp with these things a little bit later? Because I was completely out of it. So then she says, okay, now you can go. So you apparently, the person who brought you in cannot go with you, and of course husbands cannot come with you anyway. So when I start walking, I just get to like a wall, and a contraction comes and I cannot move. And this guy, I don't know where he came with, he just came running with a wheelchair and came and just put it like near my knees, such that all I could do was just fall onto that seat. So I did. We went, they checked the baby, they checked the heartbeat, they checked everything, the contractions and all that. And then, since it was COVID, you have to do a COVID test before even anything else happens. So you can imagine doing a COVID test when you're in labor. So then after they check, and they check you for like 2 hours to make sure that everything is consistent and all that. So afterwards, you know, all this time in my head, I'm like, I can't wait to get the epi. Let me suffer now. I'm going to get an epidural anyway. It's fine. I'll be strong for now. And then I'm just going to have a breeze and sleep and wait. Like, that was the only thing in my head. I kept asking the nurse, at what point are they going to give me an epidural? At what point are they going to give me an epidural? She's like, you know what? The doctor has to come and check and then sign off that, you know, like they call in the anesthetist to come and do it for you. Hey, that's when I started calling on the God of the Hebrew women. I just asked her, can I walk around? She's like, yeah, you can walk. Then I walked. I went to the loo. In the loo, I just asked God, Yani God, this whole year, everything you and I have been through, is this really the birth experience that you have in store for me? Like, Lord, it was supposed to be a short and sweet kind of thing. Yani, I pleaded with God from a very, very honest place where I told him, I can't take this pain. Like, Lord, this is just too much. And I even, Yani, I'm twisted God. I was telling God, you want to tell me that I have been tithing so that I can feel all this pain? Lord, please have mercy on me. Yani, the conversations in that toilet booth. So when the doctor came in, she was like, okay, first my test came negative. So then I was cleared, because you know what happened? If you test positive in the emergency, you would be taken to a hospital that's called Cuban Hospital. That's like an hour's drive. It's like Doha is on this side and Dukan is on this side. Like, you have to cross the country like this to get to the other side to go to the hospital there, because they had set it as the hospital for mothers who were infected by COVID-19. So now it's time to move up, and they take me to the 3rd floor. And so I'm like, the nurse I was there was Ugandan. So first of all, you know, you feel like black melanin power like this. I was so happy. I was like, somebody who understands my pain. So when I was there, when we got there, she's like, you know, this is our non-medicated floor, so we are going to help you with non-medicated pain relief method. I told her, I don't want. I want an epidural. She's like, oh, but you know, your progress has been so good, your labor is progressing well. I'm like, I don't want. Oh, you know, you're a great subject for an unmedicated, but I told her, I don't want to be a subject. I told her, I have not slept. I am so tired. Just give me the epi so that I can sleep, so that I have strength to push this baby out. They're like, oh, no, ma'am, you know. Yani, a lot of back and forth. They have to call another doctor to come and get approval for me to be moved from that floor to the other floor. So when I stand up, my mucus plug falls. So now they have to get another doctor to first check me to see where the progress before moving me. That's now we're like at 2-3 p.m. like this. By the time I am moved to the now second floor, so now we're going back down. So we go down. By the time we get to the room, we set up and everything. The nurse comes to check your vitals and all that. I am at that point where this baby has to come. Like the pain is too much that I have lost all dignity. I'm just calling Jesus at this point. I'm just calling Jesus. Hear me? So this nurse, her name was Arya. Yeah, so this nurse called Arya was like, ma'am, you know what? I'm just going to help you. Don't worry, I'm here with you. I'm going to look for the doctor. I just told her, thank you so much. But tell them to go and bring the epidural first. Tell them to bring the epidural. Like that was my song. So they went, they brought so the doctor came and the doctor signed off that, okay, fine, she can get the epi. So she wants to start running. The nurse, the midwife, she was a midwife. The midwife wants to start running an IV, wants to start doing what. Mimi on this other end, I'm like, by the way, leo ndio ile siku, mimi, how am I going to survive this? Then she tells me that as I wait to get the epi, that I can use oxygen. So me, the only time I've seen oxygen, that thing, it's just in movies. Man, I take that thing and put it over my nose and mouth, and first I think I pass out. So when I come to, she's like, don't worry, that happens. In my head, I'm like, wait a minute, am I supposed to die to give birth to this child? Like, it was such an out-of-body experience. It's like you pass out and you don't feel the pain, and then you come back to, like, it was something that I can't explain. So she would tell me to wait, because now we have to wait for this guy to come in. So every time the contraction would be so bad, she'll ask me to put it over, and the same thing would happen. So we waited, like she's putting the IVs and doing all these things. We waited like a clean half hour. By the time the doctor comes to say, all right, now we are ready, we'll just prep the room and prep, because they have to like prep theater and whatnot and all that. I told this midwife, by the way, I have a very strong urge to push right now. She's like, no ma'am, you can't push. No ma'am, not ready, you just came in. No ma'am. I'm like, it's not even me who wants to push, by the way, because I'm still waiting for the epi. It is this baby that wants to come out. She's like, okay. So she comes, she adjusts how I'm leaning on the bed. So she asked me to scoot over to the front a little bit, and then puts my leg up. She's like, this baby is here. I'm telling her, yes, this baby is here. So she's like, she can't wait for the doctor. Like, she can't wait. So I think she pressed something so that they can start coming. In like 5 minutes, I think you just see and some warm thing on your tummy, like the baby was out. And she kept saying, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. So even me now, I just have to start praising the Lord, because I was so focused on the epidural that I even just wasn't like cognizant of the fact that this delivery has happened. So anyway, so baby comes, they clean up, do all those things, whatnot. They put the baby like in a bassinet, they do their checks and all that. At this point, I'm in shock. I'm like, oh my God, that just happened. Like, by the way, it left me in shock for like a clean 10 minutes. Like, I was just dumbfounded that this is what had happened, you know. So the nurses that were on third floor and the midwives, they came down and they're like, who was telling us that she's not a good candidate? And then see, that's the baby. So they took the baby, they helped me to get the baby to latch. Like, they were just really nice to me. So then you have to stay there for like 2 hours as they monitor your blood pressure, they monitor the baby, you're monitored, and then you're taken to a recovery room, and then you'll be taken to your room. So then afterwards, they took me to a room. I'll try and insert some footage of the hospital room so that you guys can get a feel of what it looks like. So then I went to the room and it was just me, Quint, and the baby. And then at like 10 p.m. us guys got super hungry. So we called our cab guy who brought us burgers, and that was it. Like, it was the most beautiful thing, and the best thing was that Kayla was born a happy, healthy, calm baby. Did not need any follow-up, any checkup, nothing. If you guys remember, Taraji had to stay in the NICU for like 4 days. So with Coco, no, we didn't have to do any of that. We were sent home in exactly 24 hours. Like, we did not stay there 1 more hour. So yes, so that was my labor and delivery story. If you're in Qatar and you are expectant, I want you to know that you will be in great hands. It will do you really good if you get a Hamad medical card and get signed up at your health center, because now we have the COVID vaccinations and everything. Your health center might change for your face-to-face appointments, or you might not have any face-to-face appointments, but the doctors are on call and you can call in, and in case you have any emergency, then you can go in. So yes, if you have any more questions, if you would like me to share with you more about motherhood and how I'm navigating it, being a working mom in a foreign country, then be sure to leave me a comment in the comment section, and I will be sure to do a video just for you. And if you are new here, my name is Joy. I make faith-based content around motherhood, life, career, and everything nice, and I'd love you to stick around, so be sure to subscribe, and I will see you next Friday. Mwah.